into the Rogers TV studio. Zach Scribner and Adrien Mouseeau pleased to be joined alongside head coach Greg Walters, assistant coach Sean Tickle. Guys, thanks for taking the time tonight.
Always. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
You guys are pretty tight there. We're going to rearrange the set a little bit. You guys need room?
Couple big dudes.
Yeah, let's rearrange here.
While you guys do that, we'll go through some stats around the Ontario Hockey League, give you guys a few minutes to get set up. Let's start out with the OHL Player of the Week. That's over age 4. It's Sahil Panwar of the Hamilton Bulldogs. He's the coach OHL Player of the Week, recording 4 goals, 5 assists, and 9 points in 3 games, alongside a plus-minus rating of +3. After getting his week started with an assist Thursday against one of his former clubs, the Flint Firebirds, Panwar returned to the score sheet Saturday, picking up a pair of goals and an assist in a 5-4 OT win over Ottawa. Panwar earned his second straight first-star honor on Sunday, recording a career-high 5 points, including 2 goals, 3 assists, as the Bulldogs defeated another one of his former teams, the Peterborough Petes, 7-4. Jacob Oster of the Oshawa Generals is the OHL Goaltender of the Week, recording back-to-back shutouts, stopping all 49 shots that came his way in victories over Kingston and North Bay. Oster's first career shutout came Friday. He stopped all 19 shots he faced, while Cal Ritchie scored 2 goals in a 2-0 win over Kingston. He continued his run of perfection Sunday, making 30 saves for second-star recognition as the Gens defeated North Bay at home 4-0. Sam Sedley has been named the Owen Sound Attacks Player of the Week after registering a goal and 4 assists over the Owen Sound Attacks 2-game weekend. Sedley earned first-star honors Friday in Guelph, scoring his 5th goal of the season and added an assist in a 6-3 victory over the Guelph Storm. Saturday night, the Attack defenseman had 3 assists as the Attack defeated the Sudbury Wolves 4-3. There's a new points leader in the Ontario Hockey League. Matthew Maggio of the Windsor Spitfires is top in points with 68. The Spits captain had 1 goal and 5 assists this past weekend. Ty Voigt falls to second in scoring, however he's just 1 point back of Matthew Maggio. North Bay teammates Matvey Petrov and Kyle Jackson are 3rd and 4th in league scoring. Owen Sound Attack captain Colby Barlow and Logan Morrison of the Ottawa 67s are tied for 5th in league scoring. Barlow leads the league in goals scored with 30 assists, 1 ahead of Maggio. David Goyette and James Hardy are tied for 7th with 61 points. Goyette still listed as suspended indefinitely on our last look for his blindside hit on Tejas Jordan Saturday night. Tucker Robertson is 9th in league scoring with 60 points, 1 ahead of Amadeus Lombardi and Pavel Minchkov, who each have 59. To Owen Sound's top 10 in scoring now, Barlow leads the way with 63 points in 42 games. Cedric Aino had a goal and 2 assists this weekend, 2nd in team scoring with 55. Denny Gores reached a 50-point plateau this season. He's 3rd in team scoring. Ethan Burrows enters this weekend on a 4-game point streak. He's 4th with 42 points. Attack Player of the Week, Sam Sedley 5th, 1 point ahead of Servac Petrovsky. LA Kings prospect Caleb Lawrence is 7th with 29 points, 4 ahead of Matthew Pappas. Gavin Bryant, 9th in team scoring with 25 points, 3 ahead of Nolan Seed, rounding out the top 10 with 22. Let's now get you caught up on the OHL standings, beginning in the Western Conference. The Windsor Spitfires are first in the conference with 62 points. They're 7-3 in their last 10. However, the London Knights are only 1 point back from that top spot. Close race for the 3rd seed in the conference, currently held by the Owen Sound Attack, who enter this weekend on a 4-game win streak. The Sarnia Sting have an opportunity to cut that lead to 1 point in the standings. They're in Kitchener this evening. We'll keep you updated throughout the hour. How far will the Saginaw Spirit drop in the West? They sit 5th for now, however, currently on an 8-game losing streak. The Attack begin this weekend set against the Flint Firebirds this weekend, who are 6th in the conference with 47 points. Flint's 3-7 in their last 10. Guelph have turned their season around. They sit 7th with 45 points, 7-1-0 in their last 10 games. Looking at the final playoff spot currently held between Kitchener and the Sioux Greyhounds, who each have 40 points. The Erie Otters last in the Western Conference, but hope to make a late push, hiring Stan Butler as their new head coach. To the Eastern Conference, Ottawa leads the way with 68 points, only 2 ahead of the North Bay Battalion. The Barrie Colts are 7-3 in their last 10. They sit 3rd. Peterborough currently holds home ice advantage with 51 points, only 3 ahead of the Mississauga Steelheads. Steelheads, a team that sold at the deadline, but they're also 7-3 in their last 10. The Hamilton Bulldogs are going to be relocated after this season for a few years. They're currently 6th with 46 points, 1 ahead of Kingston. The Sudbury Wolves currently hold the final spot with 42 points, 2 ahead of the Oshawa Generals. The Gens on a 3-game win streak, and the Niagara Ice Dogs last in the Eastern Conference with 25 points.
Coaches, we just looked at the Western Conference standings there. There's no time to take the pedal off the gas. As we look, Guelph, Kitchener, they're all on the rise, and you guys are right there holding the 3rd spot. When you look at those standings, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, we got to keep winning, and that's the West, right? So they're tight. Kitchener's got a great team on paper. They haven't put it together, and everyone's just waiting for the time that they do. So, we're looking to the top to Windsor and London for us, and trying to catch them.
Now, we're going to kind of be all over the place this episode, so bear with us. But we're going to start with the trade deadline and the acquisitions that you guys made. The newly acquired Landon Hookey and Jackson Stewart, they've become fan favorites over the last, 6 games that they've been here. And it's pretty obvious that they play the style of game that you guys like. What can you guys say about Landon and about Jackson?
Yeah, for me, I thought Digger did a great job. Obviously, some teams went out and went crazy, in my opinion, on overpaying and giving away their future. Where we have most of our team back next year, and we'll take a run next year. But for me, we don't beat the Sudbury Wolves Saturday night without Landon Hookey and Jackson Stewart, and that's what we were missing. We didn't need a top end scorers. We needed a little grit. We needed a little size, and they've come in and done that, and they've made everyone else bigger for our team. So again, like I said, I don't believe it was a chippy game. Sudbury's a big physical team, and I don't think we win that game without those two.
I don't think people understand actually how skilled Landon Hookey is too, as well. I think he brings that element of that size and that presence, but also his kid can play. Same thing with Jackson Stewart. You look at that shot he scored in Guelph. He does have some small little hands, and he does a great job getting pucks out. I think those guys just bring more than what people think.
In that answer that you had there, Coach, you mentioned that you guys are going to take a run next year. But these acquisitions help you to take a run this year as well. They made your club better instantaneously.
100, and that's what I didn't mean anything taking away from this year. It's just, if we need to add something, I think that a year for our team and the Owen Attack is for next year. We didn't really need to add anything other than some size and toughness this year to give us a chance to win, and obviously we've proven that here down the stretch since we've got these guys, and and people don't understand how many injuries we've gone through and whatnot. So to finally get our full roster back, add some size and toughness with Landon and Jackson, and we're ready to go. Honestly, we're not afraid of anybody, and we're looking not at the bottom. We're looking how we're going to catch Windsor and London.
Now, we'll stick with those two players. What would be one asset that we don't see or the fans don't regularly see that these guys bring? Now, you talked about Landon's skill. What would be something else that maybe Jackson brings to the table, or that Landon that we don't see on a regular basis?
I would say just in the dressing room, anytime Stewie does anything around anywhere, the guys just love it. He's just a character guy. He always puts a smile on everyone's face. He's such a great kid. It's the same thing with Landon. He's come in, he's fit right into our culture. He's done a great job fitting himself around his teammates and allowing them to show him the way we want to do things.
I just want to talk about just the way you guys currently have your line set up. Colby Barlow, we're going to get into it later. 10 game-winning goals, top scorer, but Caleb Lawrence and Landon Hookey might be like dynamite come playoff time, especially a pair that can score goals but also wear down those top lines come the first and second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and you got to add Matthew Pappas, who had a great start and went through a little downward spiral there for a bit, but he's back, and that line's dangerous. We can play them against any line in the league and feel comfortable. I'm sure skilled guys on other teams do not want to see Caleb Lawrence lining up next against them, and Hookey and Paps is a tough kid. So, that's where we've finally got our lines put together, and whether it's 1A, 1B, 1C, whatever they have to bring that night, we're really comfortable with putting any of those three lines against anybody.
Now, talking about, that was our next topic, it was going to be Matthew Pappas. You guys acquired him. I find that OA spots are some of the most important spots on a team. You have only 3 of them. You can't waste them in any means. When Matthew came to your team, what did you acquire, Sean, without knowing that you were getting that?
We acquired a guy I think that's extremely competitive. You see what he did Friday night. I know him and Cooper Walker are friends from playing together for 4 years or whatever it was. But he takes no guff, and he's a straight-up competitor. He's a highly skilled kid. I think he's a lot more talented than people know. You can see it in some of his goals this year. But he's been the complete package for us. He can play up and down our lineup. Like Greg said, right now he's playing with Caleb and Hooks, and they're kind of that shutdown line, if you want to per se. But they got a lot of talent. Like, he was playing a line with Kobe Barlow earlier this year, so he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife for us, and he does a little bit of everything.
It's funny. That was the next thing. I call him a Swiss Army knife. I feel like he is a player that can play in all 12 positions on the forward lineup. Now, when you have that option, I really liked, I forget which game it was. It might have been the Ottawa game or the Peterborough, when he was playing on the 4th line center with the 2 rookies, and he was able to isolate everybody and be like, just be able to let the kids play, and he had the defensive zone. It must be nice to have somebody that's 20 years old and be relied upon in those situations like that.
For sure, and that's exactly what we look for and we see in Pap. He can pretty much do anything that we need. Like we needed a 4th line center like that game, and I think it was Peterborough, to take a couple shifts to allow those kids to play, and he did that, and he took that task on. He did the job very well.
Dale then acquires James Petrowski from the Flint Firebirds. First off, and I'm glad we have the coaching staff, how confusing is it on the bench having Servac Petrowski and James Petrowski when it comes time to calling them onto the ice?
Well, I don't know. Hilly and Teague seem to mess it up more than I. James Petrowski is JP to us, and Petro remains Petro. So we figured that out quickly, and that's another great add. The size, he's so calm out there, moves pucks and defends, and that's a guy that can be in our lineup for the next few years that we're really excited about.
So it hasn't cost you guys with the too many men on the ice penalty between the 2 of them then?
No. Well, with one being a D and a forward, it's good.
He seems, we have him on the show next week. Excited to talk to him for the first time. Seems like a quiet kid, though. What can you tell us about JP in this instance?
Yeah, he's very quiet. He goes about his business. He is very quiet. But at the same time, I just love his poise out on the ice. There's no ups and downs with him. Even when I get a little angry with him, he just stays the course. He moves pucks. He's very calm out there, and he defends very well. He's big. He's long. He has a great reach, and there's some offensive upside for him that we're seeing a little bit of now, that we'll see a lot lately in the future.
Easily one of the best skaters on the team as well at that size.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I said. He closes down on guys defensively. He breaks us out. He's the full package, and he got put on the NHL Central Scouting list, and he deserves it. So James Petrowski has a bright future.
So let's throw it back to Scotiabank Hockey Day and Canada Week. Greg Walters on Tim and Friends with Colby Barlow. I noticed there was an instant connection between you and Tim. What's the relation there?
A buddy of mine, Brian McLaughlin, and Tim grew up together since they were 3 years old, and so I've known Timmy a long time. So it was really nice for him to get us on there, and obviously it's an honor to be on that show for sure.
How cool was it to be able to promote the city of Owen Sound with the captain sitting right beside you on a national broadcast and show like Tim and Friends, and it's so popular with all ranges of people? How cool was that to be a friend of the show?
Yeah, I know, it was awesome. Yeah, we got our sweaters, and mine was triple extra large, which you guys I'm sure heard. But to have Colby on there, and Colby's making his name for himself, and I was lucky enough to know Tim before to get on that show, so Timmy did us a favor, and we're really happy to get on there, and it was an awesome experience the whole week, and to promote Owen Sound. It's such a beautiful city. So.
Now, you mentioned it right there. It was a very long week. You guys started on the Tuesday, ended on the Sunday. There were school visits, there was breakfasts. The boys were doing everything. And in my opinion, you guys played 3 great hockey games. Is that kind of like, was that like good for you guys? Like acceptable? Was that acceptable to play 3 of 4 games to an elite standard, knowing everything else that was happening?
I think a big thing is the guys took everything in stride. That's kind of when Hooks and those guys kind of started coming into the team, and that kind of just balanced everything out a little bit. So I think it was just more, everything came together at the right time for us. But, it goes to show how good of a hockey team we actually really are. And I think that was a big statement weekend for the rest of the league.
Now, when it comes to that London game, I've said it on multiple platforms. I felt like your bodies were in London, but your minds might have still been in Owen Sound. Was that kind of the case that you guys saw as well?
You know what? If you look back at the game we played, we didn't play that bad, and and it's unfortunate sometimes they get lucky goals and fluky goals. But if you look back at the game, it definitely wasn't a 9-1 game, and so those things happen in hockey, and unfortunately I wasn't there. I was sick, so Teeks and Hilly took that one.
How's the view?
Yeah, seriously.
Landon Hookie, though, first goal for Owen Sound in London. Is his backhand like that nasty?
He has a nasty shot.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
We did a couple battle drills today, and he was putting them under the bar. Like, he's got a sick release.
And he's such a great kid. He's so happy to be here, and he's just really meshed with big man Caleb and Pappas. And like I said, we're so happy with our 3 lines right now, and we're just looking for the future and keep getting better every day.
Really liked watching Landon sticking up for Tejas there on Saturday too. So it shows the kind of teammate that Landon Hookie is.
Well, that too, and like I said earlier, without those 2 guys, we don't win. And I don't know if people would realize what Jackson Stewart did. Turney, I don't know to pronounce it. Hit Kobe Barlow from behind, and the next chance out there, Jack's out there, challenging, so you don't touch our guys, and it just makes everyone a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot tougher. And like I said, Digger's done a great job of getting those 2 guys in to help us right now.
Backtracking on Jackson Stewart, one last question I have to ask about him. Is he one of the hardest hitters you've ever seen in the OHL? Like, we had Mark Woolley last year, but I think Jackson Stewart might hit harder than Mark Woolley.
Yeah, he's definitely up there, and I know people, we've seen on tape, guys shying away, and Sam Sully was the best today. We did all battle drills today, and said, like, Coach, like, I had to go up against Jackson every day, every single drill, every time, and he goes, I tried to hit him, and he wouldn't move. I'm like, that's what we got there, and he's a lot more skilled than people think. Yeah.
Let's throw it back to Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada Week. What was your favorite thing that you just remember about that week?
Seeing the big guy on Tim and Friends. Seeing the guy on Tim and Friends. I think that was just awesome. I think that both of them just did such a great job. And like you guys said, it gets the light shone on Owen Sound. I think that's just such a great thing because it's such a great place to play hockey, and it's just a great market and a great place to live.
Yeah, that was awesome, obviously. But I think if we look back, beating Ottawa and Peterborough on the same weekend, 2 teams that have gone all in to try to win, and in us to come out on top and play extremely well. In front of, all the people watching in Hockey Day in Canada, it was amazing.
The experience of being involved in the hockey clinics, what does that mean for the 2 of you?
I think it's awesome. It's just, you get to give back and just see, these young faces that are around the rink, and, we see them at games and we see them all around. So I think it's just awesome to give back and just get those young guys a passion for the game, and hopefully they learn something, hopefully they have some fun.
Oh, okay. Me next? You?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me next. Okay, so we're going to kind of switch off that topic, and we're going to head into just basically recapping the year that's been. What's been one of your favorite moments from the year? It doesn't even have to be a goal or a play. Maybe it's something on the bus. I know last year you guys had the bus stuck in Guelph, and that was a pretty eventful moment. What's one of your most memorable moments of the season?
Geez. I don't know. That's tough. I mean, after everything that we've gone through and everyone's gone through, it's just so nice to be able to come to the rink every day and knowing that there's going to be a game and there's going to be fans in the stands and get these kids going and playing hockey and trying to get to the next level and just maturing and just watching them grow. To be honest, we have such a great bunch of kids led by our leadership group, and we just hope the best for all of them.
Yeah, I think just coming to the rink every day, like you said, just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces, how willing they are to come and work and listen. And I think a big thing, at least for me, not playing the West last year, understanding how great the fans of Owen Sound actually are. Having, like Greg said, what we've been through over the last little bit, seeing the Bayshore have an almost sold-out crowd is pretty awesome, and it's great for the guys to play in front of that.
Just wait till playoff time. It gets even better.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
That game against Peterborough was pretty close to what
awesome.
you hear in playoff times when you're at the Bayshore.
Yeah.
It's rocking for sure. Now we're going to get into some individual players. 3-part question. What have you liked from them so far? What do you expect from them come down the stretch? And then maybe a funny story that you can tell the fans at home. So number 6, Nolan Seed. What have you liked from him so far? What do you expect from him coming down as being one of the OAs of the team? And a funny story. He's a pretty good character. We love having him on the show.
Yeah, he's amazing, and I'll take that one too. It's like just, watching him go through, his injuries last year. I was only with him that year, but, being a first-round pick and sort of going through, his ups and downs, and listen, this kid's plus 20 this year, and he moves the puck. We really missed him last game, and his compete level has grown. His skill set's grown. He's taken over huge leadership responsibilities with our team, and we sat him right beside Kobe for those reasons to help Kobe, and I'm so proud of this kid, and we got a scare today. Actually got a puck in the shoulder, and we thought it was his jaw again, and thank God he's okay. But he's just he really is running the team, behind with Kobe and Ethan Burrows and Gavin Bryan and Seds. So it's his leadership has been unbelievable, and it's just nice to see him, to have 20 points this year, but more importantly, he's a plus 20. He's playing against all the other team's best players, and he's really been a go-to guy for us this year.
Sean, do you have a funny story about him that comes off the top?
Every day's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny. That Cedar, man, he's awesome.
100%. So if you get a chance to talk with or see Nolan in action, he's one funny guy.
Yeah. Just his smile. Right?
Yeah.
His smile brightens you up every day, and to see him finally having the success that that everyone knew that he could have after his 5 years, and to be a 5-year guy in one city says so much about Dale and this organization, and sticking with him through his ups and downs, and finally we're reaping the rewards, and that's something we talk about every day is as the season goes on, these young kids, they've got 3 or 4 years left in the league, and Nolan doesn't have that, right? So, and I try to explain to them that, you look at Nolan C, because when our last game is done, he's going to be crying like a little baby, and we really need to start playing for our overages and our older guys.
I wish COVID didn't wipe away the fact that Nolan Seed could be up there in games played for the Owen Sound Attack if he didn't have those seasons wiped away.
Yeah.
We're just going to go one number higher. Number 7, Denis Gua. One of the... If you thought Nolan Seed was a character, Denis a character himself.
You got
so
this
one thing, I'll go to you, Sean. One thing you liked from him so far, one thing that he should, or you expect from him, and a funny story. There's many when it comes to number 7.
There's many. He's a character. He's a character for sure. But what I've liked from Denny this year, just feeding off of what the guy said from last year, he was a minus player last year, and he's taken that upon himself, and he's corrected that, and he's a lot more attention to detail on the defensive side of the puck. What I expect from him for the second half of the year, to me, he's one of the most dynamic players in the league. When Denny gets dancing through the neutral zone, when he gets up that speed, there's not more slippery players in this league than him. I think he has a real elusive shot. I don't think people really take that into consideration, like he can rip a pill, and he's good at picking spots. Funny story about Denny Gore. Let's see.
Boy.
Oh man,
We're not going to
so
put him
many.
through a spelling bee.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, we had 2 spelling bees. We had one in Erie. That's probably the funny story between him and Caleb Lawrence. I believe he won that one. So.
It's so sad because his mom's a school teacher. Too.
I know.
Before you go on to the next player, do you feel like he's fearless now wearing the bubble? Like just going into the puck battles, making extra hits now?
Yeah, probably. It's probably a little bit of an added thing. You know, you don't have to worry about a stick coming up or anything like that. So it's probably a plus.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, from last year to this year, there's just been a huge improvement. His 200-foot game, his work ethic is extremely high now, and he's definitely a top-end guy that, hopefully for him, he gets something this year and it can turn pro, but if not, it looks great on Owen Sound that if he's back as one of our overagers for sure.
This time last year, if I told you that Dinigo was playing on the penalty kill, would you have believed me?
Yeah, I mean, I started Denny, he's our best player, he's a first-round pick, and we had him doing those things. The penalty kill wasn't the issue. I think it was more, sometimes, plus minus is way overrated, but, he really has paid attention to detail.
Yeah.
And it's more of his own puck touches that, and certain areas of the ice that he has to get pucks deep instead of trying to beat guys one-on-one and whatever, but he's really beared down on his puck touches and that have turned into offense. He's definitely, a top 10 guy in the league in scoring if he's played all the games.
Only just a few minutes before we go to break, so let's throw out tonight's trivia question. Chance to win a pair of tickets to the Owen Sound Attack on the road this weekend. We'll get into that later on in the show. The next home game for the Owen Sound Attack next Wednesday versus the Niagara Ice Dogs. Adrien, Mouseeau, the trivia question for tonight.
A pair of tickets. That might be a little hint to this, to the answer to this question. Who was traded to the Windsor Spitfires last season? So the attacker playing against the Windsor Spitfires this weekend. Which attack defenseman was traded to the Windsor Spitfires last season?
Just taking a look at the out-of-town score, the Kitchener Rangers, Philippe Machard, Montreal Canadiens prospect.
Oh,
Adrien
boy.
will love that. The lone goal, so Kitchener currently leading Sarnia 1-0. On the other side of the break, plenty more with the coaching staff, including a quiz. You won't want to miss it on the other side of the break here on Attack Wrap on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I'm afraid your driver has tendered his resignation. I've lined you up a new driver.
City TV, Tuesday.
You must be the investigators.
Investigator. Aren't you in recovery? Well, I'm guessing that's sort of how you lost your driver's license in the first place.
You got a lot to learn about the PI business. Sometimes you gotta color outside the lines.
Wong and Winchester. All new Tuesdays, 9/8 Central on City TV.
Looking for a man, takes it off into the corner, curve, pass right into the slot area. Good scoring chance. Shot. Score!
Scores. Here we're going to see it here on the Rogers replay.
Because we couldn't see it from up here where it was.
There it is coming in, and there it is. It's definitely in, no doubt about it.
There's another shot, almost deflected. Comes out the other side. There, that's got the goal.
So that's a real great shot go.
Piper Post here with me for Knights. Tune in on Fridays at 5 to watch Knights hockey. Alessandro Supino here with Knights hockey. Tune in to Rogers TV 5 o'clock on Friday for the game.
back to Attack Wrap. Zach Scribner and Adrien Mouseeau join alongside 2/3 of the coaching staff of the Owen Sound Attack, head coach Greg Walters, assistant coach Sean Teakle, breaking down some of their expectations from the players and a funny story. We got a few more to go.
Yeah, so we did two. We got two more on the list. We're going to go with number 9, Sam Sedley. We're going to stick with the characters of the team. In my opinion, Sam might be one of the most improved players from last year. I know he put up a good number, but his all-around game has improved so much, in my opinion. What can you guys say about Sam Sedley? We'll go with you, and then you'll take the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, Seds is awesome. He's so skilled. He's probably our most skilled guy, to be honest. You see, through injuries and whatnot, that we put him up at forward, and our top end guys love playing with him because he just loves moving the puck and finding holes. But defensively, he's so good. He moves pucks. He's so skilled. Our breakouts are his puck touches, if you watch, are so good breaking out. There's no fear in his game whatsoever. He runs our top power play, blocks shots. He really is a huge piece to our success, and I hope teams the NHL level look at him and see what he does, because he can definitely play at the next level. And another guy, if he doesn't and he happens to be back here, it's our overweight situation is pretty good.
A funny story of Sam?
Oh, every day, this guy, I can't, most of them I can't say on the air.
We'll leave it at that.
This guy's a beauty. He puts a smile on our face every day.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a comment for everything.
Okay, we'll finish off with number 11, Cedric Guindeau. I find that he doesn't get talked enough. He gets maybe under the radar a little bit of Colby Barlow's shadow, or I don't know what, but he's one of the most dynamic offensive players.
Yeah, Seti's another guy. I think his improvement on his 200-foot game from last year to this year, I think, is the biggest difference for him. What I expect for him going forward, like you said, he is an elite offensive player. He's slippery. He's one of our best players at getting inside the dots and playing inside those areas, drawing defenders to him, like you said, playing with the high-end skill players that he does. He does a great job of drawing attention to him and giving and dishing pucks. He has another guy too. He's got a sneaky shot.
I was just gonna say that.
He's got a sneaky. Yeah, he's got a sneaky shot. He's got a really good one-timer. He works on it every day. He works on his shot every day. It's another guy too. I can't think of one story, or I can't say it on air, but another kid, just so funny. He comes to the rink every day, and he's just got a smile on his face, and he's just such a good kid. He's just willing to work, and he's a sponge. But he's always got a smart-ass comment for everyone.
Yeah, and he's French too, so there's that against him.
I just hope to see him in contention for Hockey Canada come next year. Yeah. Next question for you guys. Game changer, elite, top 10, Captain Colby. What does this emphasis on 17-year-old kid have that makes him all those words I just said?
I think there's a lot. That's a loaded question. I think he's just so special, I think, in everything that he does. Same thing, he's always working at his game. He's such a good person on and off the ice. Just a little story I don't know, most people don't know about it, but Aurelia came up for the Silver Stick earlier in the year. Hockey players are superstitious, and everyone has their routine. And he took his whole routine apart, skipped his nap and everything, just to stay at the rink to talk to this Aurelia team, because he understands where he comes from and how important it is to give back to the next generation and give back to those kids. So I think he went out that night too. I think he might have had 3 points still with no nap and everything. So he's just a hockey player.
Yeah, he's a great leader for your team. And when I was interviewing Ethan Burrows just after the last game, they threw down to me and they thought it was going to be Colby, and I was like, no, he needs a break from interviews. I got Ethan, and then I asked Ethan, I said, 10 game-winning goals, another 2-goal performance, what's there to say more? And then he goes, honestly, he's a game changer, and that's all you need to know. So when you're talking about Colby, I think game changer is the perfect word, and he's only in his second OHL season.
Yeah. Well, Ethan Burrows has been a game changer in the last bit as well. So, like I said, the character runs so deep through our room. But Colby, to have a kid that has not cheated one time for offense in today's day and age, and believe me, I ask him to. I ask him to cheat, and he will not do it. It's the only thing he won't do that I ask him. And to be plus 23 and to be playing against the other team's best players and the best shutdown defenseman in the league, it really is special. But he's a better kid than he is a hockey player, to be honest.
Two rookies, Braden Rogers and Antonio Tersini, still in search of their first career goals as we enter February. What do you guys do as a coaching staff just to keep their spirits high?
I think just reiterating to them that it's a process. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. You know, at the end of the day, they are 16, and that's a massive jump for them to go from playing minor hockey to this step. But for them, it's not for lack of chances. You know, you look at Tony. I think Tony works so hard, and he ends up in the blue paint a lot of the time. It's going to go in for him at some point. It's just when. And I think the same thing for Braden. You know, he's not playing a ton of minutes right now, but he's taking every day in as a step, and he's learning a lot. And he's another guy, like, he has a sneaky, really good shot from the point, and as he gets older, he is going to put up points in this league, and he is going to score some goals.
I think we always say it, we kind of joke, Luke Evangelistas had 0 goals when he was a 16-year-old, and he's a back-to-back 50-goal scorer. Yeah. So anything can happen in this league if you develop the right way.
Yeah. For sure.
The Owen Sound Attack had another meeting against the Guelph Storm last Friday. Let's take a look at the highlights from the Sleeman Center.
Crimson and white shirts, he'll work it around to the far side. Skips back to Teosh Jordan, who will roll it in. Rebound in front, scores! Backhand by Lawrence. And Teosh Jordan holding that in and getting it into the slot, and out to Bushinger again. Here is Bowman with a shot. Right on goal, but trying to jam it home is Mad Max, and somehow Votary able to keep it out. He had Cooper, Walker, and Nemesnikov both to contend with in the slot. As Bowman takes a look from the half wall. He has been red hot of late as Bushinger. Long shot scores! What a blast by Bushinger from the point. Redirected in front on the power play. Back to Gore on the point. Gore takes a shot, scores! Top circle for Denny Gore from just inside the blue line. Sedley takes a look. Top shelf. Odd goal there from Jackson Stewart, as it looked like an innocuous looking chance, and he's even surprised. Feeds it in there for Gavin Bryant. Fed in front, open net, and Colby Barlow makes no mistake about that one. When you give him a chance like that in the slot, he will make no mistake. He puts it home. Saying they've been trying to grow beards like that is fired, and over top the shoulder, Sam Sedley will score here. And the Attack are routing the Guelph Storm here in the Royal City. And here is Cam Allen jumping in. Gave it to McGuire. McGuire shot, scores! Ryan McGuire with one to narrow the gap to 5-2.
Right when they needed it, Ryan McGuire brought it.
Romeo on the puck against Stewart, and now Burrows looking back in front. Swiping it through the slot. He can't find an Owen Sound Attack stick. And there's a blast, Steen. It's redirected in front by Gandon. Great dexterity by the stick of Cedric Gandon, and it's 6-2 Owen Sound. Over to Bushinger. Back to Patra. His shot scores! Power play goal. Matt Patra to make it 6-3.
Traffic out front, and Matt Patra saw it and took his.
Coming away with 2 points versus the Guelph Storm Friday at Sleeman Center. I mentioned it there. Come away with 2 points. Guelph Storm have played you guys very tough this season. How good did it feel to come away with the win Friday?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Obviously they were picked to be one of the top teams in the conference at the start of the year. They're a lot better than their record, and you know, we've found ways to lose. It's not that they have outplayed us, really. We just found ways to lose, and obviously we found ways to win the last 2 games against them.
6 different goal scorers in that game. Looking at the box score this morning, what does that just speak to the depth of this hockey club that St. Sedley puts up a goal and then all four of your forward lines are going as well Friday night against Guelph?
Yeah, like I said, our depth is huge. Like our top 9 have really taken off, and then we got Jackson Stewart coming in. He was +4 in that game, who's been great, and then you add in the Cormies, Tussinis, Brennan when he gets back, and Shaffy, and there's a lot of depth there. So we're really excited about our team.
Now Corbin faced a season low 19 shots. The last time you were on, you said that your number was 29. How happy were you with your defensive performance that night?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, I don't think, the shots are always higher at the Bay Shore. For both teams, but listen, Corbin's taken the reins here and has run with it. He's been outstanding. So we're really lucky to have two great goalies, and right now Corbin's hot, and we're running with him.
Special team numbers on home ice, fantastic. 4th on the power play and the penalty kill. On the road, worst power play percentage and 14th on the PK. What adjustments do you guys feel are needed to go on the road to go on a hefty run in the playoffs?
It was brought up to our attention the other day by Greg. But yeah, it's just, it's something that we got to work on and something that we got to figure out because, when we go into a playoff series, those are going to be important things. So it's just, whatever it is, if it's at the Bay Shore because it's a little bit smaller, you might get a little more shots or whatever it is. We got to find a way and we got to figure it out.
We mentioned throughout the season you guys have had impactful players out of the lineup. Gavin Bryan comes to mind, Teddy Sawyer out around the same time, and you're still 3rd in the Western Conference. What does that show, once again, just the character of this team that you guys find wins to weigh and using different players in different situations?
Yeah, that's what it is. These kids are all about winning, and there's the character inside that dressing room, and to Dale DeGray's scouting and drafting, it's been amazing. And before we made the trades, I think there was 18 or 19 guys drafted to the Owen Sound Attack, which is amazing. So, like I said, we practice hard every day. We practice, to get better every day on the little details of the game, and the kids have really just taken off here. And listen, Sean and Jordan Hill do an amazing job with these kids every single day when I'm grumpy, and they're cheering them up, and it's a fun place to be. It really is. I know I'm loud during the games, but I love these kids, and we want to make it fun here, and obviously winning is fun.
Now he just says it's a fun place to be. Owen Sound's a fun place to be. Sean, you've been on the show once, and it was one of your first few months in Owen Sound. Now you've been here for 6-7 months. How have you enjoyed the city of Owen Sound?
I love it. Like I said before, it's a little different. It's got that real small town vibe, but like I said, it's been awesome to see all those faces out at the Bay Shore and all the fans coming out and how passionate they are about the game and passionate about the team. You still popping into a Tim Hortons, people are like, hey, good game the other night. So I think that stuff's really cool, and it just allows it to go a little bit further, and the guys really love playing here for that reason.
I think one thing, too, you said they'll tell you a good game, but I think they'll hold you accountable as well in this city, and everybody knows who you are. So.
Yeah, I've been told before about special teams and stuff like that, so I just kind of kept that to myself. But.
Coach John's not here to tell him how to run the power play.
Yeah.
Speaking of a good game, the Owen Sound Attack continued their winning ways Saturday on home ice against the Sudbury Wolves.
Now Sam Sedley tosses it over to Denny Gore. Gore back to Sedley, quickly back to Gore. Starts to walk in. Sedley, one-timer, Barlow, he scores! All he does is score goals. Colby Barlow with 35 on the season. The boards. Collins into the corner. Boudreau looking across, scores! What a pass there. Boudreau finds Collins, and the Wolves tie the game. Finishes his hit on Goyette. Sedley's pass knocked down by Yearwood. Nicholas Yearwood on the steal, trying to get a backhand shot away. Konyan will, and he scores. So the Wolves have their first lead of the contest here early in the second. And Gaydon will pick it up. Cedric Gaydon drops for Burrows with a shot, he scores! Ethan Burrows rips it home, and this game is tied 2-2. Toe drape by Gaydon, the line won't work, and it's sent up now for Goyette. Goyette lets a shot go, and he scores! You can't give him that kind of room. David Goyette restores the Wolves' 1-goal lead. Sedley over to Sawyer. Sawyer up the boards, deflected in by Burrows. Robinson trying to get it up the boards, blocked by Gaydon. Burrows with the shot, he scores! Top corner, Ethan Burrows has a pair, and the game is tied 3-3. Moore across, drops it for Barlow. Sedley, Barlow, one-time shot, he scores! Captain Colby gives the attack the lead. Callum, 7 seconds to go, across the line, leaves off for Villeneuve. Villeneuve's pass, here's a shot for on wide of the net, behind the goal, he'll miss, and the Owen Sound attack will get the job done. A comeback win. They knock off the Wolves 4-3.
Standing ovation for the Owen Sound attack towards the end there. The fans getting up on their feet after facing some late adversity throughout that game. The Owen Sound attack coming out victorious 4-3. 10 game-winning goals on the season for Colby Barlow. How impressive is that for a stat and the kid's in his second year in the Ontario Hockey League?
Yeah, it's amazing, to be honest, and to be, I think he's 3 up on the next guy now, maybe 4.
4, yeah.
4 up on the next guy. It's, you know, I guess when you score that many, you're bound to get game winners, but he really does, when the chips are down and we're in a tight game, we know we can count on him. As much as Ceddy Gwendolyn, his play and Ethan Burrows has been amazing, and like I said, the emergence of our third line of finally getting, you know, that line together, we're never out of a game, and it's a great feeling as a coach, and the kids should be very proud of their character, and they'll never ever give up. So,
Sean, we were just talking off air while watching that goal, how impressive it truly was that Colby was able, 1, to get a shot off, 2, to rip it, and to go basically bar down. Like, how hard of a shot was that? The puck was coming at his feet, and he was able to just to rip it.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show how much work he actually puts in. You know, he puts himself in situations after practice where he's putting himself in a situation to take a bad shot off a bad footing or whatever it is, because, you know, at the end of the day, he really wants to score goals, and he just wants to find ways to get out there. So that's a tribute to the work that he puts in.
A lot of NHLers say you can never give a good player a bad pass, and Colby Barlow might be the prime example of that.
The Owen Sound attack are now 3-0 in their alternate jerseys. 2 of you have seen them for the first time this season. What do you make of the new threads?
I love them. They're awesome. I love our jerseys in general, but you know, that to have that black on and obviously to win 3 in a row, and I know Brownie's really pumped about them, and you know, it's exciting. So we'll see where it goes from here.
Said it in my video. Black is lethal.
And black is lethal.
Yeah, and in that same video, Colby was putting it on. He says, "I feel dangerous in this." So. It is different. It's a different feel when you put a black on. So now we're gonna go to the quiz. So now we're gonna get you guys to here you go. You gotta take one of these.
You took the top one.
And then so this one, we're actually gonna ask the same question to the both of you guys, and hopefully that these questions are about them and their playing careers. So we're gonna hope that you guys know a little bit about your own playing career and about the others. We're gonna start with Sean's playing career. What's the most, according to Elite Prospects, what is the most penalty minutes that you've had in a season?
The most penalty minutes by Sean. He was a tough guy.
Every season was cut short with injury, though.
All right. Show it to the camera. Oh, wow. So you actually had 124 PIMs for the Mississauga Terriers, but
how do you forget
64 penalty minutes played for the Streetsville's Derbies.
Yeah.
So yeah, 60, 65, 60 is pretty good. You guys both got that one. Trading off to Greg.
I didn't know minor hockey was involved in that.
Yeah, I didn't know that they kept AA stats, but it's still pretty cool. Greg, according to Elite Prospects, your most penalty minutes in a season.
We just looked at this the other day.
It is pretty impressive as well.
In a season?
Yeah, one
or
season.
with two teams? Back to back.
No, one season.
I think it was.
Because even if I.
Yeah.
We're pretty close.
All right, show the camera.
250.
254.
Oh!
Yeah.
Look at that.
In 1995, 1996, Zach was just born, and you had, for the Chicago Wolves, 254 points.
Points?
No, I have Fims.
I wouldn't be sitting here
We'll
right
go.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Now we'll go points. How many? Your most points according to Elite Prospects. I'll give you a hint. Oh, actually, I won't give you a hint. I want to know the season with the Brantford Smoke. What was that?
That was.
That's senior, right?
No, that was the Colonial League.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Excluding that one.
Like, this is something that the kids on our team need to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. All right. So
Sorry,
does this include junior?
Yes. Include junior. Yep.
You can't look at my thing. 42. It was 42 games.
What? Yeah.
It was crazy.
So Colonial League, you can show the camera how many you had. 42 games played, 42 goals, 62 assists, 104 points, 88 pims. Modern, like.
Light on the Pims that year, right?
Yeah, but you know, Matthew
Matthew
Tkachuk and
skill guy.
Take after him. All right.
Scoring. Coach wouldn't let me go in the box.
Now we're gonna go to that same stat. Most points that you've had in a season. Sean.
Oh, jeez. Oakville?
No, I was injured.
So he played on some skilled OHL teams. According to this, he never played in the OHL.
Only preseason.
Only preseason.
Yeah.
You got it? You got their number?
Yeah, I think I have the right number.
So this would be
in
Georgetown.
No,
Streetsville. Minor hockey?
No.
No, OPJHL.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was this before they became the OJ?
They turned into the Toronto Patriots.
So this is young.
Yeah, I was 16.
Wow. Show the camera there, Sean. 27 points.
Oh.
As a 16-year-old, these are impressive stats. 41 games played, 14 goals, 13 assists, 27 points, 64 pims. Heavy on the pims.
You didn't.
That's when the injuries set in.
You got a bad coach. He didn't play you enough.
Then the injury set in and the numbers just dropped.
That's it.
Okay, according to Elite Prospects, how many teams have you coached, Sean?
Ooh.
Coached.
Organizations, not years of coaching, but organizations.
I know 3. I shouldn't have told you that. You don't know your 5.
According to Elite Prospects, you've coached 7 teams.
7?
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, 6, because you were a scout in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7. Streetsville, Milton,
I forgot.
Hill Academy,
You coached Milton?
North York Rangers, and Niagara, and then here in Owenstown. 6.
Look at the care dog.
All right. Now this is a long list. Yourself, Mr. Walters. How many teams have you coached?
I already know this.
It's not a long list.
No,
It's not. No. It's a long list of years in the league.
Yeah.
Service.
I got this one right.
All right. Show them.
Yeah. Go.
4. And how many special?
22 years.
Yeah, 20 since 2002. Yes. You've Oshawa Generals, Owen Sound Attack in the O, Georgetown Raiders, and then the Sanger Sting.
Yeah.
Fun fact: you were Jordan Hill's coach.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
One last question: how many times have you represented Canada or the OHL?
Oh, or the OHL. Hold on. Canada.
Did you do that thing with Drapes?
Show the camera.
Oh, yeah, no, I think so. 3.
I'm glad you got the right answer, Greg. It is 3.
It is.
Canada East U19, you were the head coach in 2012, 2013. OHL All-Stars head coach.
Yeah.
And then most recently, Canada Red U17.
Yeah.
I'm going to parlay this into a question. How exciting, we talked a little bit that you enjoy it, but do you seek out opportunities, or would you ever deny the opportunity to coach something like that, even if it is just an OHL All-Star game or something special of that nature?
No, I would never deny it. I don't know if I go looking for it. I have my two sons are hugely into baseball, and the summer months are for them. But definitely love the opportunity of doing the under 17s this year, and with my kids' blessing, they pushed me to do it. So it was a blast, and obviously to win silver and was a huge honor.
We only have a few minutes left, so I want to ask a few final questions to you guys. You've scored the first goal in 5 consecutive games now, which was a struggle early on for the Owen Sound attack. What were the minor adjustments made to be ready on time?
Just yelling at the kids. No, honestly, we just, we had started games well and ended up losing. We just found a way to get these guys going. And listen, it's all about the kids. As soon as the last practice is done, it's on them. And like I said, our character, and we'll put certain things in front of them, saying, listen, this is the analytics of the games right now, and so they put it on their selves, and our character does everything in our room.
Headed into Flint for the first time since the playoffs.
Yeah.
What should we expect from the team this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing great hockey, and obviously, there's a huge rivalry there, and obviously some bad blood of, it's tough to go down and lose by 1 goal in Game 7 against a team and watch them move on to the next. So, definitely we want to get in there and just honestly just keep playing the way we're playing.
And then the following night, you're up against a very high-powered offense at the WFCU Center. What's the keys to stopping some of those top players, Mouseeau, Brett Harrison, and Shane Wright?
Yeah, I think the more we have the puck, they don't. So, obviously defending extremely well and being able to get the puck back and go on offense is the key to that. Obviously, they're top-end guys, but we have a lot of top-end guys too.
I was just going to say that. Be scared of Colby Barlow, of Cedric Guindon, of Caleb Lawrence. Why worry about the other team? You got the elite players on your side.
I like that. I wanted to thank the both of you for joining us here. Best of luck throughout the way, and good luck on a long playoff run.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Coaching staff of the Owen Sound Attack next week will be joined alongside 2 defensemen, Madden Steen and James Petrosky. I want to thank everybody for watching another edition of Attack Wrap on Rogers TV.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
My husband is a wonderful man and a great father when he's not drinking. I'm so angry he chooses alcohol over us. If he really loved us, he'd stop drinking, right? My counselor suggested I try Al-Anon. I didn't understand why. I'm not the one with the problem, but I'm glad I went. Do you worry about someone's drinking? You are not alone. Al-Anon or Alateen can help. Call 866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Tuesday on City TV.
I'm Detective Charlie Hudson. Assume you have a warrant? Yeah, right here.
The Bark is